Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Banter in the Box, episode 95. Return of the Shame. 7 managers going into the transfer market this week, with 3 of them paying £5 million for an Oi is mine tactical gambit, which allowed them to purchase a player even though that player already belonged to another family fantasy football league team. And in this week's edition of Banter in the Box, we have your game week 19 winners and losers. Normally, we only have up to 4 game week winners, but this week there were a number of managers I couldn't separate. So we've got 5 game week 19 winners and 4 game week 19 losers. And unless my memory is escaping me, which isn't unusual at my age, I don't believe we've had an entry on the Wall of Shame this season, which would be some sort of family fantasy football league record. Reaching the later stages of January with no entry to the Wall of Shame must be a first, but we didn't make it to the end of January, our first Wall of Shame entry this week. And I've got those all-important manager of the season updates. So your game week 19 winners, take a bow. Debut manager Sarah Goodwin's On the Buses climbed another place, up to 22nd in the table. You have to go back to game week 3 for the last time that Sarah was as high as 22nd. Take a bow also, Ostrich Bar Stewards manager Steve Maloney. He climbed a place into the prize money places, up to 4th. And similarly, that's the highest he's been since game week 3. Take a bow also, Charlotte Williams Foxborough Foxes also climbed a place up to 3rd in the table. And again, you have to go back to game week 3. For the last time Charlotte was as high as 3rd in the table. Take a bow also the Big Knobs manager Simon Hoxby. He climbed a place up to 11th. You have to go back to the 3rd of September 2021. Over a year ago, for the last time Simon was as high as 11th in the table. But the biggest game week 19 winner, take a bow, the defending champion, although he's making a pig's ear of it, Hatch United's Neil Hatch. He climbed 2 places up to 18th with a first weekly win of the season, a 77 points scored this week. And 18th, you have to go back to game week 10 for the last time Neil was that high in the table. They, game week 19 winners, 1 manager of the season point to those guys and girls. Your game week 19 losers, hide your head in shame. A debut manager, Abs FC. H himself, Sam Benwell. He dropped a place down to 14th. And there's a theme here. You have to go back to game week 3 for the last time H was as low as 14th in the table. And the other 3 were all game week losers last week. Hide your head in shame. No happy endings manager, Di Maloney. Struggled in her debut season a couple of years back. Finished runner-up last year. Was it going to be a one-season wonder? Looks like it is. Di dropped a place down to 19th. You have to go back to the 25th of March 2022 for the last time Di was as low as 19th. A season low. Hide your head in shame also. Wanvaron FC. Luck, where's the K Williams? Fell another place this week down to 23rd in the table. That's the lowest that Luck has ever been in all of his time, albeit only 2 seasons, in the Family Fantasy Football League. But the biggest game week 19 loser, hide your head in shame, Megan Hoxlade Chamberlain's Megan Hoxby. Megan fell another place down to 26th. She was the lowest scorer this week with just 5 points. And 26th, well, you have to go back to the 27th of August 2021, the start of last season, for the last time Megan was as low as 26th in the table. Where they had them, 1 manager of the season point lost. Wall of Shame, as I said earlier, we haven't had an entry on the Wall of Shame this season as far as I can recall. Everybody entered their teams without any issues, and no one's made any void transfers this season yet until this week, when I've the life manager Mops Hoxby tried to make a transfer, but the value of her team would have bust £105 million spending money. So that was void, and strictly she's on the wall of shame twice, because she came back with another transfer this week, only for it to mean that she would have had two players from her non-nominated club. So Mops is currently the entry on this season's wall of shame. What are Mops? Who the fuck is that? That was the picture of a current Family Fantasy Football League manager. If you can tell me who it is, you would earn one manager of the season point. 4 managers to go this week. Megan Hoxley, Chamberlain manager Megan Hoxby, thought that that was a picture of Gobi Desert Canoe Club's Pops Hoxby. That's an incorrect guess, Megan. On the Buses manager Sarah Goodwin thought that that was a picture of yours truly, Chairman's Choice. No, incorrect, Sarah. That is not my hand. And both Hatch United manager Neil Hatch and Ivor, what's his team name? The Big Knobs manager Simon Hoxby thought that that was a picture of Benny United manager Mark Benwell. That's interesting. But it's an incorrect guess, so it's going to roll over for a second week. It means the manager of the season table looks like that, or the top half of it anyway. Charlotte Williams climbing to joint 15th for being a game week 19 winner. Neil Hatch goes up to 14th for being a game week 19 winner. Megan Hoxbury dropping to joint 10th for being a game week 19 loser. Debut manager Sarah Goodwin's up to joint 4th for being a game week 19 winner. And the Big Knobs manager Simon Hoxby extends his lead at the top of the table to 11 points for being a game week 19 winner. Your chance to close that gap on the Big Knobs, or his chance to extend it. We're rolling it over. It's now going to be worth 2 manager of the season points. It's a picture of a current Family Fantasy Football League manager. It's not Pops, it's not me, and it's not Mark Benwell. We've ruled them out. A 1 in 29 chance of getting it correct. 1 guess per manager per week, and if you get it right, 2 manager of the season points coming your way. A reduced fixture list this weekend. We've got the FA Cup 4th round, and there aren't many Premier League sides left in it. And then next midweek we have the second leg of the Carabao Cup. There will be enough, as long as no games are postponed, there will be enough Premier League teams taking place to make it a valid game week, which means I'll be back next week for episode 96 of Banter in the Box. Until then, take care. Bye bye.